sound check. Can you hear me, Mike? And can I hear you on the stream? Why is it not? Okay, I know what's happened here. Give me 1 second. Audio's not included. There we go. Right, that should be right now. Sorry, audio was not on. Let's try that again real quick. Yep, is there a tickle there? Like on top of the party.
I've got it.
Right, let's see.
Should be all good. Testing, 976.
Yep, we are all good. Yep, I can hear you perfectly fine.
Lovely. I can hear you on that.
Right. Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to round number 2 of Papa Champs, which brings us to the Bahrain International Circuit. Oh, you apparently start streaming as well. Okay.
Yes, I have. On my
I
own.
just noticed that. Alright. Not your usual 2 commentators tonight because Goose is busy working. So, you have my dulcet tones. Yes, well, you can. Maybe, we don't know. We can make jokes about that during the stream if we decide to do that. If he decides to watch this back, he can enjoy that. But he'll hate us for this, but I don't care. But anyway, it's the dulcet tones of myself, Sam Fairbairn, one of the 3 hosts of the International Paddock podcast, alongside Mike in the commentary box tonight.
Howdy doody.
So, what are we looking forward to tonight from this Bahrain Grand Prix?
Well, if anything like the last 2 rounds, obviously we had a social round a couple of weeks ago and round 1 last week. Some really good racing was witnessed. You know, tyre to tyre, respectable driving. There was quite a few crashes, quite a few safety cars, but I've noticed with the driver lineup tonight as well that there's quite a few new entries to the Papa Champs.
Indeed, there is.
Interesting.
There is a few names I do recognise in here, but there is a lot of names I do not.
Well, I've recently got back in touch with Verstappen. Used to be Ethan. Don't know if you ever did esports and with
not the name that comes to mind for me.
Yeah, he's quite a quick driver. He's had a bit of a break, coming back into racing. This is his first race for quite a while. But he was quite fast. Bruce Psycho, he did the social event. He didn't race last week. He's very quick. Obviously, you know quite a few of the others, but the others,
I do, of course.
There is some new names for me as well. So, be interesting.
Yes. Obviously, last week's race winner, Mr. Jamie O'Connor, is not here this week. I believe he is away on a personal family event, so hopefully he's away enjoying that. Also had some other news from his side of things, but that's not really for the podcast.
Celebrated his birthday.
No, there was something else.
Wedding.
And well, let's just say, a few people already knew about it, but he proposed to his girlfriend. So congratulations to him.
Oh, congratulations, mate! Is it worth me buying a new hat?
Perhaps, Mike. Perhaps. Obviously, a mix. Only 13 drivers here tonight, but with 13 drivers, I believe we can still have a very entertaining race. And I believe the race tonight is the pits are only open on lap number 1. If that is the rule of tonight's race.
Oh well, I forgot about that. Yes, I think you're right. Just let me have a look. let me just check up on that. Obviously, you've got your information from somewhere, and I'm just let me have a look.
I believe, yep, we are about to get the one-shot qualifying underway. Let's just see how this all goes. This is my first time with the spectator menu on F1 2023, so this is going to be see if there's any major difference between this and the old one.
There's not much really, Sam. It's quite straightforward, really.
Yep. So at the moment, it looks like coming into turn number 1, it is your son, I believe, that is actually leading briefly for a second there. It is Maka now who leads. Scott then goes to the top as we now head towards the end of sector number 1, and then he's immediately pipped by Maka, who goes back into the lead once again. Obviously Scott with the very distinguishable livery of the Aramco livery, which you will definitely be able to spot during the race. Hopefully
Looks
he
nice,
doesn't
that.
have any. Hopefully he makes it through turn 1 this time.
Yeah, looks
Or
nice.
not
That
turn
does.
1.
But yeah, I commented last week. I think the actual drivers have done a superb job with the liveries. Everyone stands out in one way or another. I think they've worked really
Indeed.
hard.
I mean, I have worked with leagues before where you have the individual liveries per teams, but it was a struggle sometimes for me to figure out what teams were which. So at least I know whose liveries are who for the most part. So at least I can actually have a little bit of a lookout on that front type of thing.
I'm just putting a message in the Discord chat now.
Scott has actually been pipped to the line by Maka right at the end, and Maka
Yeah.
takes pole position.
Yeah, it's a good lap.
That was very close, actually.
The second between first and 10th. That's not bad.
So, to quote, Maka has managed, I think he got it coming out the final corner, pole position. He got pole position by 0.078 of a second. Pretty close margin. There's only like one and a half tenths, not him in third place as well. Like just over 1.5 tenths. So, if you want to go through the grid, Mike?
Certainly will. I've got my own list here actually. We've got Angelo. I know his name's a lot longer than that, but I'm just going to call him Angelo. Adam Halford. Vapid. What is it? Vapid Coot.
Yes, Vapiku, yes.
While
you're going through, as I say, the results are on the screen, as you can see, yes.
Yeah, Cynical Games, Welsh 57, Brew Psycho.
Jeez,
TDH.
second down to 10th. That's pretty close.
I know.
Just under a second.
Just a second, isn't it?
Yeah.
J. Evans, One Eye, Panda Park.
Yep, One Eye, driver we do know from other things as well in ACC. So let's see if he can actually take his talents from ACC into F1. It'll be interesting to see. But that was, to say, pretty close grid. And so it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
Last week, One Eye did, Sam.
Alright. So we're just waiting. So, as I believe, there is only really one strategy for this, if I believe this is correct. It is...
I'll stop you there, Sam. It's no rules today.
No rules? Ooh.
No rules. It's the pit stops, open race and everything, so I've just asked
a question. Okay, so it's normal.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I was maybe thinking about a different race, perhaps, that's got that then.
It is in the proper champs, but not this round. I'm just trying to find out where it is.
Because I know that is in the season at some point. I don't
know
if I'll be covering it.
I think it's round 5. I think.
Round 5. Okay, we're a little bit down the line then, I suppose. As we are now waiting for the drivers to obviously get going. You've obviously... I've not really driven this game at all. I was a little bit cynical about this game in terms of buying it anyway. And the only reason I bought it was because I had a bit of nous about it over this. How has the game been from like your point of view if you've actually driven any laps on this game?
I've driven a hell of a lot of laps on this game, Sam. I'm not good, but I absolutely love it. It's a different league to 22. Handling, everything. It's just better. Graphics, I think, a lot better. Honestly, my first F1 game was 19, I think, and this is hands down I love it.
I
Absolutely love it, mate. Really do.
My league racing experience goes back even further than that. I've been league racing since F1 2015, I believe. So I've been through several different handling models of this game in one way or
Wow.
another. And I'll give you the honest. If I was going to give you the honest answer, the one I actually liked, I kind of liked 2018.
Yeah, 2018 was good. But honestly, Sam, I really, really do like it. Really do.
Fair enough. So let's have a quick gander at the tyres. Mediums and hards looking like the presented tyres at the moment. Those could
Hmm.
change, of course. To note with tyres on this year's game, I believe the hard tyres are a lot harder to heat up than what they were on last game.
Yes, they are. But once they come into the into play, they are a very good tyre. Very good tyre. Um,
Indeed.
right. Yeah.
So
Um,
I'm gonna ask now. Um,
yep.
you make for a top five prediction.
Top five prediction. Obviously, I'm gonna go with who was it? Just Maka. I've heard of him before, and I have seen him doing the odd league race that my son's been in. I'll go for Maka, Low, and Adam Alford.
Okay.
How about
I'll
yourself?
I'll go Maka. I want to see how he gets on. It's a driver completely new to me. I have not ever
Yeah.
seen him racing before. I'm gonna put Scott in second. If
Oh,
he
yeah,
has a good
shit,
reason
forgot
that's
about
not
Scott.
involved in any.
Forgot about
uh,
Scott.
yeah, put Scott in second. I'd like to see I'd put Vapid in third place. See how he does in his first race. I'd say Angelo in fourth, and I think your son could maybe get a top five here
Yeah.
if all goes correct. Because I believe your
I
son
know
probably has
he
a bit of
was.
pace behind him.
Yeah, he's been struggling to get a decent setup. If he's got a decent setup, he will be there amongst. I think his race pace is good. It's just he's been having a little bit of a difficulty on 23 setting up his setups. But we'll see.
Indeed. Welcome everyone in
But
the chat as well. Tonight to the race as well, everyone who's there. If we're looking forward to the race ahead, 29 laps ahead of us around the Bahrain International Circuit. It's How would you describe this circuit, Mike?
fast, fast. It's it's one I go on often. Now I've sussed out the tight hairpin. I'm enjoying it more.
Mm.
You know
Oh,
the top.
the left-hander, I believe.
Yeah, on 22, I struggled a lot, but on 23, I don't know what it is. It must be the handling. It's got to be, but I'm getting it spot on now. Just losing pace everywhere else.
I mean, you have to start somewhere, and then when you think you've actually done it, so I believe we've lost someone at some point.
Oh,
So we may want to get Jay Evans back in because I believe he's lost connection on the. Oh, and Psycho's been disqualified from the formation lap. Good start for him. I don't know what's happened
yeah,
there. So he's gonna
naughty
have
boy.
very cool tires. Oh, interesting. Some of the
Ooh,
tires have changed since we've
shame.
actually last
Yes.
looked at it. Yeah, so we've got
Wow.
Maka, Scott, and Scott, Psycho, and Vatrol on the mediums. Panda has opted for the soft, so he's going to be very quick early on the race. So we'll have to see how he gets on very early on. Be interesting to
Right
see when those
mixture there.
tires start to drop off. We've got Wallace 57 and Angelo on the hards. TJH, a name I recognise from League Racing. Very quick driver on the mediums. Cynical in 9th is on the hards with Adam Halford in 10th on the softs. Another driver to watch out for coming through the field. And then Dash, Stappen, Winnie on the hards. And then at the back of the field it is Evans on the mediums, which I do believe we do need to get back into the session. So let's just where the drivers are just heating their tyres up and getting themselves organised for the start of this race. Let's see if Scott can get past Maka on the start and see if he can get a better start than, well, it's a very red colour, a very red colour. It's almost a Ferrari colour.
To get my sunglasses out of my suitcase, I
think. I mean, you sure we weren't doing that while planning your next trip to Tenerife already then?
Certainly am. I had a bit of a boost as well. I can't go into it. But might be having a bit more money coming my way as well, so I'll be going more often.
Andrew will love you for that, honestly. He will. But as I say, we're just coming around to finish the formation lap. A very quick formation lap from the drivers, as Maka will now form up on pole position on the grid, with Scott alongside him. It'd be interesting to see how the drivers line their cars up to try and get a strategic advantage on one another as we get ready for the racing action in round number 2 here in Papa Champs.
Yeah, looking forward to this, Sam. Really am.
I'll let you take the race start.
Oh, thanks for that. Right then, I can't be doing with this camera angle on the start. Why don't we have a helicopter view or something like that? But anyway, we're off. Lights are out, and it's Maka maintaining the pole position as we come up to turn 1. Scott's pressurising him. I'm coming up on the outside, but inside, sorry. But no, Maka holds on to P1. Scott's in P2, and there's One Eye's coming to back up to 10.
Yep, Psycho's under pressure from Panda on the softs here.
Yeah. My interest in
almost.
What's happened there?
Almost contact there between the two. A little bit wide there from Panda. He's lost the position to Angelo, I believe. Yeah.
So some good early pace. Angelo is up to the front 2 already.
He's got Cynical behind Panda now to maybe try and take the position away from him. To note about the soft tyres early on, Panda needs to make these moves early alongside Adam Halford, because if he does not, those tyres will die off very quickly, as the tyre model has completely changed on this year's game.
Yeah, it's certainly has. It's what was I going to say? Oh, it's a lot more easier to understand in my. I'm 59 going on 60, and it makes sense to me. Some of the things a lot simpler than other games. So, but Maka is pulling out a bit of a lead, just under a second from Scott.
He's going to be. To note as well, Angelo is already dropped out of DRS range.
He has already, yeah. And
he's under pressure from Panda.
Panda makes a move.
Easy move here, I suppose. Angelo on the hards. It's a no-brainer decision there from Angelo to let him go just now, because he knows he will get the position back. As Psycho.
Wallace is spun.
Oh.
Somebody's.
Don't know. Didn't catch that on camera there as to what happened there to Wallace Jr. So we'll have to maybe see what happens out of tickets that after a while. As it looks like as a Psycho has indeed caught past Scott. As you can see, the tyre strategies on screen there. No one's going to be doing. Only 2 people are going to be doing that 2-stop strategy. Maybe alongside Jay Evans now as well. I think Evans potentially, since he's in the pits, could have had damage with Wallace potentially. You think?
He could have done. Yeah, he could have done. It was whoever was just behind him anyway. So, I'm not pointing fingers. We'll wait to.
Indeed, we will wait for stewards' reports to decide those things. We do not decide those things ourselves.
No, a little bit of info about Bruce Psycho. He's a friend of my son, and he was a very, very good go-kart national champion.
TJH and Wineye swap positions a little bit further back in 9th and 10th. TJH getting the position off of Wineye there on the mediums.
Yeah, just looking at the back, Wallace is going to make a move on.
Nice, lost 2 positions here. I don't know what's happened there.
Maka sets the fastest lap of 1:33, but Panda Pat just picked in.
Then One Eye's. Yep.
Yeah, One Eye in the pits.
One Eye's in the pits must be damage. That's not ideal for his strategy. So he'll need a safety car to save his race now, due to the nature of being on the hard tyres in the start.
Yeah, well, this is up to P10 now, just up to Stappen. So
Oh,
he's on the move.
Panda and Psycho there. Panda runs wide, and it looks like the Psycho's going to get the good old switcheroo on Panda, and he still has the position. However, Panda's got round the inside, has got the inside for the next corner, has to cover the inside, has got it almost covered, tries to switch down in the inside, and I saw that one coming. Oh, and there goes Panda.
Yeah, that was the writing was on.
Oh, Panda! No, that's a dangerous rejoin.
Yes. Oh dear, safety car.
Yep, I think Panda may get a penalty for that one.
Yeah. But like
yeah,
you say,
sorry, Panda, that one was caught on stream. There's damage at the chicane as well. There's also front wing at the left-hander as well, the blind left-hander. So, Cynical Games has no front wing.
Right. No, he hasn't. I'm on him now. No.
That is who I think had the collision with Panda. So I think, well, the stewards can make their decisions on this after that. But I think that is a slam dunk penalty for the Dutchman.
Don't take a brain surgeon to work that out, but like we saw that coming. And then it was a silly entry back onto. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that is.
Panda,
yeah.
But it was silly.
Yeah. Should have been a bit more patient. They're obviously ghosting is not a thing, as Angelo and Cynical both in the pits. And I can understand. Oh, Cynical with a 5-second penalty.
He run up his backside.
Oh dear. Medium tires for the, Angelo. It's probably going to be mediums as well. I think Angelo's got front wing damage. He's just got a front wing replacement as well.
Yeah. A few going in pits. You deciding not to.
I'm going to look at Psycho because I don't believe Psycho got hit from. I believe. Or was he the? I think he spun round because he may. I also think that Psycho may well have something to answer for there because it was a bit of a. Yeah.
It was. Psycho and Panda Park come together, and then obviously Panda's entry back was a bit.
Questionable,
but got to work questionable. Love the library on TJH's car. The red, white, and blue.
Track. It was a dangerous spin. Yes, Norris is pointing that track. I thought it was dangerous rejoin. I think it was just a dangerous spin there. I mean, I would say, who's more to blame? Well, if we were the people making the decisions, I think that started the chain reaction that was set off by. Let's just say like a certain person, a Psycho, trying to go for a move that wasn't really on there. You should have probably waited a little bit longer, been a bit more patient, which then I think undid the rear of Panda's car, and then just went from there.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see both drivers' point of view, but I would be guessing with it being a right-handed turn that they connected with, it was perhaps the inside driver on this case, which was Psycho. Could have given a little bit more ground to Panda, but there's no answer to what Panda did after. Cynical Games got a penalty.
Yes, he has a 5-second for speeding in the pit lane.
He did, yes, and he went up somebody's rear end. Yeah, just a quick mention. Obviously, there's been no international paddock tonight, but
yes, that's getting moved to Wednesday.
We're 5 o'clock Wednesday, so in Andrew's words, be there or be the square. So we'll just run through. RRT Macca is P1, Scott Wyatt P2, Adam Alford P3, Rucycle P4, TJH P5, Wallace 57-6, Verstappen P7, Angelo's P8, Cynical Games P9, Vapid Coupe is P10, Pandapat P11, JM's P12, and the One Eye is P13.
Still yet to catch up to the safety car, so this will be up for a few more laps yet. To note, Adam Halford has stayed out on those on the soft tyres.
Yeah. What would you say? 8-9 laps for the softs on here?
If you're good on tyres, I'd say yes, but how quickly, once they drop off, do the tyres die on this game?
it is quite quick, actually. Once you get to about 55-60%, they'll jump rapidly to 60-70. Yeah, so yeah, it's once they go safety cars in this lap.
When I just caught it, wonder if that was a final lap that was coming in anyway. So how does Maka respond on the safety car restart as the lights on the safety car go out and Maka becomes the effective safety car leader? He's taking it slow, so he's doing the back the cars up approach and make sure that absolutely no one behind him has tire temperature, which is I think that's a strat.
Yeah, it's a strat, crafty, all legal.
Indeed, I think is he bolted?
He's gone now, yeah.
He's bolted.
Didn't get a very good exit off that turn. But,
no, he did not. Didn't quite fully work out for him as Adam Halford is trying to look at the back of Scott now. Two tenths the gap. Look at Psycho down the inside there.
Why? He's got some speed, that lad. Just needs a little bit of racecraft to be a good rider.
Oh, and there goes Adam Halford.
Yeah, Adam's gone.
That's not ideal.
No. And
it's a safer rejoin from Adam Halford though, or safer rejoin on the track this time around.
Yeah.
So his tyres, if they weren't cooked before, they're probably now cooked. They're probably now destroyed.
Once you do get hot, Sam, on this game, it's you need a deep puddle to cool them down.
You need a massive Ford, really, and if you know what that is.
Yeah. But Maka doing well. Not been
indeed
headed yet in this race.
Does lead Scott by 0.8 of a second. TJH meanwhile is now up to P4. Good few positions gained off the grid for the British driver, I believe. He is 0.5 behind the closest gap at the moment, although we do have Cynical Games looking at Angelo, trying to go down the inside. Angelo covering the inside. We obviously know Cynical is going to have to serve that 5-second penalty at some point in the race. We'll pit again. Oh. He's maybe trying to bait him out. He's a little wide though.
Yeah.
A little bit of the battery here. Let's just see as it looks like Angelo. He's very close as he's going for a move on Wallace Jr. Down the inside. Can he make it stick? The Italian does indeed, and he is up to P5.
Wallace and Cynical Games getting a little bit close there, touching tyres.
Yep, just as I say, a little bit of, as I say, Robin's racing, but what point does that become too much? You can make that decision for yourself.
Yes.
Well, Panda Angelo trying to recover back through. Angelo's still there. He's half a second back from TJH. Looks like Wallace is already about 1.3 seconds back now. He's already fell back out of DRS range.
I'm just going to say Angelo's created quite, within a few corners, he's created quite a gap between himself and Wallace in P6. Yeah.
Indeed. Looks like, as I say, it is the closest gap within the top 5, but there's still the gap. Panda and Dash Stappen. I wonder if he is also Dutch with that name.
Ooh, he's not. Yellow flag.
Somerset. Oh.
Is that Adam?
That is. I think that was One Eye actually.
One Eye actually. Yeah, it was One Eye.
Oh, and Jay Evans is out. Yep, that is another safety car. So 2 safety cars in 7 laps. That now means, I believe, those who were on the mediums. I think you could probably take the hards to the end from here.
Yeah, you perhaps could.
Oh, that's an interesting. Who was that there? Someone tried to come in the pits there. I don't know who it was, and then decided to suddenly come back out the pits last minute.
It's our lad. I think it was Ricky. He does that quite a bit. Sends a dummy, as we say.
Yeah,
he decides to stop out behind Cynical Games.
I am quite surprised Cynical's not pit, considering that 5-second stop go.
Yeah, he's got every right to do it now, hasn't he? So,
I mean, he could go back onto a set of hard tyres and potentially take those tyres to the end. I mean, they would be screaming a little bit at the end, but from my experience of last game, and if they are still mostly the same on this game, it's the hard tyres are still a durable tyre.
They are the best option tyre in 23 summer. I really do like the Hearts. Say once they've scrubbed up and they've got a bit of a grip on them, they do keep that grip constant until they decide to go, and then they do go. But you've got to keep your eye on the Hearts. But they are a very good tyre. Austria with the medium during the week didn't last 5 laps. It's a funny old tyre, but I think they've done something in the recent patch, I think, over the mediums, because they did have a bit of an issue. But anyway, so we've lost Evans, unfortunately.
Yeah, you didn't have the best of times. Let's be honest. Disconnecting right at the beginning of the race probably didn't help, and then. Well,
I don't think he'd finished last week. Actually, I think he was a non-finisher last week.
I think he just needs maybe just a little bit. As I say, he just needs to make sure he doesn't end up in a slump, because you know what happens.
Oh yeah,
momentum is everything.
Of course it is. But going back onto Dashford, you thought he could be Dutch with a name like that, but in fact he's his name's Ethan, and he's from Dorset in England. Silverstone is his favourite track. His favourite team's Red Bull. Other league he races in is ERC. And having a break from racing, Ethan is only just getting back into it. And like I say, he was esports level. Actually did a few esports. Yeah, he was okay. But
he's one of the few drivers on the mediums as well. Alongside Adam Halford, who's now got his chance after the initial spin on the first safety car a lap after the week start to redeem himself a little bit.
So as Adam Halford does catch up, and I'm sure the safety car could be in this lap, we've got Cynical Games in P1, Wallace 57 P2, Panda Pat is in P3, Vapid Coot P4, One Eye's up to P5, RRT Macker after his pit stop is in 6, Scott's P7, we'll watch Macker at the restart, I think. Scott's in P7, Rue Cycle P8, who actually does show some real fast pace, so I'll be watching him as well. TDH is P9, Angelo P10, Verstappen 11, Adam Alford 12, and unfortunately we've lost Jay Evans early on. But
only one retirement really from all of that. I mean, the thing with a lot of leagues don't run this, and I think that it makes it more interesting. I would use here. Bless you, by the way. So the best way of trying to describe it is how many leagues have you ever seen that run simulation damage? It's weird. I'm waiting for the grids and everything.
Not many, but I think it's more true to life. If you ask me the question, or what I think of it, it does give you more simulation to real life driving, I think. But what's your thoughts on it, Sam?
I think it definitely makes drivers think more on their toes than usual, because it means that you can't go barreling into a corner and it's not to expect to lose a wheel. We'll talk about that more after this safety car restart. Anyway,
he's gone in the safety car and
yeah, Cynical's trying to go all the way. Has he gone all the way to the inside here? I think we have some movers. Mac is already up to P5. However, he's been launched by Psycho. Oh my word!
That was a bit.
Psycho?
That was.
Yeah, Angelo's got and I think there's a 5-second penalty for Wallace Jr. with a collision with Angelo there. But what on earth? That's a slam dunk penalty there. I don't know what. So that's a massive incident. We have another instant safety car as a result. But what was going through Psycho's mind there?
I don't know. Living up to his name. But I think, like you say, Wallace has got a 5.
Yes, he has a 5-second penalty for. I wonder if in all of that. I wonder if he potentially could have that removed due to the nature of maybe all the cars bunching up.
Sam. Yeah, he was pushed onto Angelo when it wasn't his doing. Now whether
as long as he has his race director afterwards, he should be able to get that time removed as well as his timer.
I should think so.
You should be able to get that at the end.
Well,
But that was a quick safety car restart into another safety car.
It's not very often you get that sort of move in league racing.
What's the word I want to go for here with that one? A bit over optimistic.
Optimistic, bit of a rookie move.
It'd be interesting to get his thoughts on what happened there, because
yeah,
I have suspicions he's either been. I don't know if he. I don't know if. I don't. Would have think he wouldn't have done that deliberately. I wonder if he's been concentrating too much on who he's alongside and outbraked himself.
Yeah, I think Wallace is getting a full kit on here. I think he should be getting rear and front wings. There's 3 in the pits: Verstappen, Wallace, and Cynical Games.
As we are looking.
Cynical Games.
As I say, Maka's got himself back into the lead, but to note, having not pitted yet. No, he has pit. He's gone into the hards already. Started on the mediums, I believe. He's in second place now.
Cynical Games at Wallace, I think, have just done the 5 seconds.
I wonder if I think I've got the idea of what Junior's doing here. He's doing the strategy where you put the soft tires on, come back around, then put the hard tires back on again.
Yeah, I think Ricky's doing that. Yeah, Wallace, so that's what he'll be doing. But I can't get over that move. That's the sort of move I do, guys.
That was a bit
when
like
I'm five laps with my mates. That's what I do. That's the sort of move I make. But I would expect Wallace 57 and Bruce Psycho, who's actually DNF'd. Did you know that? Bruce Psycho. They will be in a chat together.
Wallace some words may well have got exchanged. We don't know which words. Some were, but we know there probably was words exchanged.
Knowing my son, definitely. I'm quite surprised he's not in AI now and going around his house. Knowing my son.
Depends on how you raised him, I suppose, isn't it? In that case, you raised them well enough; they should be all right. Anyway, it's not time for parenting advice or telling people how to do that.
I'd like to say I've raised him right.
As I say, we have to take your word for it, because obviously nothing we know about, and probably not suitable for the current thing. What's just happened there?
Did you? Maka spun on turn 2, turn 1.
Having a little bit of an issue there with the curb, from the looks of it. I'd be interested to know. The thing is, when I'm behind Maka, is this a chance for him to make potentially a breakaway now and cement his lead, do you think?
That's you. Yeah, with all due respect to One Eye, he's got pace. He showed pace by taking the fastest lap last week, but I don't think he's got the same pace as Maka. And I think he may pull a bit of a gap on the field unless Panda gets past One Eye quick.
Yes, and to note, it's going to be Dutchman versus part Dutchman.
Semi-Dutch.
Yes, well, I believe I believe he said in the past, but I believe it's originally Surinese, I believe.
Yeah, I had a really pleasure of meeting One Eye over chat on Thursday or Friday last week. Didn't expect what I thought. He was there with his bottle of beer, practicing.
And safety car's back in again. So, safety car number 3. This time, keep it tidy this time. Keep this tidy, everyone. Let's just have a nice clean restart, and we should be fine.
We certainly should.
Maka this time is really backing the pack up.
He certainly is. Safety car will be in very shortly. We're on board with Maka. Watching
Indeed,
that speed.
He's going to go at the final corner. He's going to try and catch him napping. This is going to be the most important thing to
There you
watch
go.
it from
He's
his.
gone.
And Winai has been caught napping a little bit.
A little bit. He certainly has. And Panda also. I expected Panda to be alongside One Eye by halfway up the straight, but.
Oh, Scott is going for a move though. It looks like Dash and Adam Halford.
Yeah, side by side.
And the inside. And Panda and Scott, Panda and Vapid side by side. Little bit of contact between the two drivers, but they do keep it clean for the most part. As we also have TGH is also looking down the inside as well. It was almost 3 wide there for a second.
Yeah, that certainly was.
Oh, the old switcheroo from TGH as he tries to go.
There?
Oh, TGH is going for 2 positions in 1 go, is he? Nope, that's Vapid going for that. As Vapid's got 2 positions in 1 go there.
Yeah, Adam Alford had a spin, bit of contact with somebody.
TGH around the outside of Scott. Cynical Games has retired from the session, and that we're down to just 10 drivers remaining. No safety car for this one, obviously, because actually I believe Cynical Games has retired on track. I'm not sure you're allowed to do that.
No, I don't think you are. Yeah, he had a bit of a coming together with Adam Alford.
Yeah. I'm not sure you're allowed to do that as TGH is up the inside of Vapid and he has got the move done.
Yes, yeah, and One Eye is a second and a half, nearly 2 seconds behind him.
Yeah, this is the exact situation that Panda didn't need.
Well, Wallace looks P8 making good use of these soft tyres.
Field is pretty close though behind in terms of the gaps. And then you have TGH who's broke up that a little bit in 4th place. As here comes Winai defending the inside line. Not fully defended though as Panda goes up the inside. Dutchman up the inside of his fellow Dutchman into turn 1. And the move is done.
Yeah.
Oh, side by side between Angelo and Vapid as well with the DRS obviously. Well, DRS probably not enabled yet, so that's purely on ERS.
Yeah,
as
Scott
here goes.
Yep.
And here goes. Yep, indeed, is up the inside. Scott does concede the position just now, obviously knowing that Wallace Jr. is on soft compound tyres. Knowing he will stop again as Vapid is the first one to pick up a time penalty for. Oh, Scott! Oh, there he is. Oh, bit of. There's. I think there's wing damage for Wallace Jr. there on the back of Vapid. So. Not ideal as Scott and Verstappen are side by side. Scott. Yep, that's an interesting place to make a move, I'll say that much. Verstappen still goes back through and is into that, and it looks like Angelo Winai's now dropping positions hand over fist. He's down to P5 now, and he's trying to come back at the Italian driver. Is he going to be able to do anything down the straight using a little bit of the battery potentially, but he will have to be careful of that as Verstappen and Wallace, obviously Verstappen getting past the car, as Wallace though is trying to come back and round the outside even with the wing damage. Oh, round the outside!
Oh,
they're going to go I thought it was going to be 3 wide for a second there.
And obviously making that move, he didn't have time for the pits for a new wing. So.
Oh, Winai and Angelo. Winai up the inside, Angelo round the outside. The Italian, is he going to have enough space there? Winai with a bit of a slide on the rear. And he's got through, and I believe now Vapid may well have a go himself at Winai. Let's just see how this one plays out between the Scot and the Dutchman. Up the inside, Winai runs wide, and that's an easy move for Vapid into P5.
Made it look easy, lad did.
Yep, 2 lap younger tyres for Vapid. Made that look easy when I down the inside though.
Wow. Yeah, and look at the gap that Mac has got now on Panda. 5 seconds. Wow.
Yeah, 5 seconds. Hang on 1 second.
Oh, who's that just running to the back?
That's Verstappen.
That's Verstappen. He's running to the back of One Eye.
Indeed.
We've seen some quite careless driving, Sam.
Indeed, we're down to just 9 drivers.
Yeah.
Have we had 4 safety cars already?
4 safety cars, and we're on lap 15.
Is there a limit to how many safety cars we can get in an actual session?
It's 4. I think it's 4.
We've used up all the safety cars already.
I'm pretty sure it's 4, Sam. I really am.
All those on the hard tyres now, I believe. You can probably take mediums to the end from here.
Yeah, I think we would.
As here we go, Maka not pitting. No, Maka is
That's
in the
pit.
pits. TJH has not pit.
No, they're all going in. They're all going in now, apart from TDH.
Yep,
Wallace will be
TJH
getting his
carrying
fourth
on.
wing.
Yes, it's much. Yep. Oh, a parrot. So from Norris and chat. So from a race he did last night, he counted 6 safety cars.
Oh, fair enough then.
I mean, I have had 5 at Baku at one
Yes,
point.
going back, I think I first started my comms in 2020, 21. We had 5 at Baku. I'm pretty sure we did. Over the week, we had a manager's race, a 100% race, and obviously the Sunday that I do with Andrew. And I think we had 15 safety cars that week.
Jeez, that's a lot of safety cars.
Mm.
So from 13 drivers that originally started this race, we are down to 9 at this moment in time. And we've only just crossed half race distance, I think.
Just about, yeah. Just about.
Because lap 17 will be half race distance of 29. I feel like we can now go back to the question that we were talking about before. I believe it was not the previous safety car, but the safety car restart before this one. The simulation damage setting. It's well, in fact, talking about how not many leagues tend to run this type of damage and how it keeps drivers on their toes. But in sort of going from like a driver's point of view and a commentator's point of view, how does it actually how do you think that actually affects the drivers in terms of when you know that's in the back of your head?
Obviously it's going to be frustrating for a driver. It's somebody like Maka that's been leading the race by considerable margin, to have him get back inside, inside the field due to a safety car. But yeah, it's frustrating for the drivers. It's frustrating for us, commentators. I don't know. Everybody's got different feelings about it. Like I said, I think it does replicate real life racing, but also it does stop some momentum with the drivers. So it's going to have. I think it's going to have mixed reactions from different people.
It's like chalk and cheese, really, isn't it? Some people will really like doing it, and some people will absolutely hate the fact that simulation damage is an actual thing. And knowing the fact that you could probably brush off of a wall and destroy a tire very easily, sort of like real life in a bit of a way. Knowing the fact that
maybe we could come down a couple of clicks. I don't know, but let's say everybody's got their own opinions. Race wise, I'm all for it. Commentator wise, and if I was a driver leading every restart, I'd be frustrated. So
it's stop start, as you say, kills momentum, and means that you never really get to fully build up what you require in terms of knowing what you expect your pace to be. To note as well,
sorry, go on.
Norris in the chat again is saying he wasn't racing, he was spectating.
That's your fault for being nosy then. Safety cars in this lap.
Anyway, I didn't say he did.
Anyway, Scott and Wallace are on soft.
TJH, it's going to be interesting to see how he tackles this, because obviously he's on hards. Those tires will take a few laps to heat up. How do we see? He's going to have to do a fair bit of defending early on and hope those mediums tires, which will die a little bit quicker than his tires, even though the tires are older on TJH's car, as he has decided to bolt, but Mac has gone with him, I believe.
Yeah, alongside.
Mac has made a bit of a mistake, I believe, coming in the final corner. This is going to land on Angelo. You see the train snake from side to side, making his one defensive move that you are allowed to make, going down the straight and towards turn at number 1. As Maka, as it looks like Wallace and Scott are going side by side a little bit further back, and then you've got Panda and Wanai Look, trying to go side by side as well. Scott Vapid, looks like it's Vapid round, I wonder. No, Vapid is not round. I think he just had a little bit of an incident as TJH has already dropped down to P2, and it looks like he's coming under pressure from Angelo already, coming down towards the outside. That is a great run from Angelo there. Obviously the difference in tyres at this moment in time helping Angelo out there, the Italian driver, and he's up to P2 chasing down Maka.
Maka has got some pace. He's I'm quite impressed with him. I've seen his name, but yeah, he's quite impressed me. Got some real good pace.
Indeed, he's already broken the DRS.
And on the outside, on TJ
outside
there.
TJ, this strategy hasn't really worked for TJH, has it? However, he's managed to get it back. They're side by side as they head through. Panda's going to have the inside line. We're now trying to go for the inside as well on TJH. However, is not able to make the move stick. As it looks like we've got Vapid trying to make a move as well as potentially was trying to. TJH with a 3-second time penalty as he runs wide coming out the final corner. Has to watch where he rejoins. He's going to lose a lot of positions here as Vapid is going to go for a move on as well as junior. Don't know why. Didn't go that low on the way down. And it looks like Winai is up to P4 as well. Wallace, oh my word, this is a very busy portion of the field right here as Winai's back. As well as he needs to get this really done, but he needs to not be in too much traffic here, Wallace Jr., because those tyres are going to die very quickly.
Yeah, as TJ8 drops to P9.
He's done,
penalty as you said earlier, but Maka
not an ideal run out of the final corner.
Maka's off again. 1.7 seconds to Angelo and the Pat. One eye's keeping his P4. He's got an eye on Wallace behind him. And then we've got Vapid Coot. Scott's up to P7. Needs to get going with them softs under Scott.
Indeed, Scott does need to get a move on, as you say. Vapid, though, is currently in a soft sandwich at the moment in terms of the fact he's got a car in front of him in softs and a car behind him in softs.
Yeah,
however, to note, Wallace is already out of ERS, I think.
Yeah, he is. 8%.
Scott trying to go down the inside of Vapid, not going to work into that final corner. Vapid's way too smart for that one. Maka with a 2.3 second gap out front as well. He is just pulling out that gap as here comes Scott, not using a little bit of the batteries. We head towards turn number 1. No, not close enough to make the move.
No. So springing on a little bit out now. DRS is enabled.
Why is TJ on those tyres? I would have picked for a set of new tyres, considering he dropped to the back of the field.
Well, has he been hoping for another safety car? I don't know, but
actually,
he's definitely lost all.
At this point, it would be just his luck that you probably wouldn't get one.
I think it's going to be only a matter of time before Scott gets past Vapid. Vapid got a little bit of a better exit from that corner than Scott, but Scott's putting pressure on him.
Indeed.
3 seconds now, the gap between Maka and Angelo in P2.
Yep. Only about half a second between Mirai and Panda. Those two still close together. The two Dutchmen, as Panda's out of ERS as well. His light is blinking away there to say he is out of ERS himself.
Yeah. I have noticed as well that you have, when the battery harvests its power, it harvests it in funny places when you actually need it, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
It's the same as like Wallace's headlights flashing now when he will need it on that straight. But
right down the inside, thinks about a move. However, that might put him a little bit offline to Wallace Jr. He could potentially make a move there, but obviously maybe a lack of battery there stopped
him
from making the move there.
There's one eye
those side by side. The two Dutchmen go to war. Who will come out on top here? And I think Panda's just gonna come out on top. Yes, he is once again.
Yeah. Yeah, and that battle has brought Wallace into the fray as well. He goes
Oh!
inside. Oh, and he's a little back end. Did he keep hold of it? Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Loses
Fair
the
play for
position
no
too.
contact there.
Some good racing going on.
Vapid,
I've seen
meanwhile,
the
I think has
worst.
finally lost position. No, he has not yet lost position. That's just
Wallace is down
that
to
entire thing
P7
has
now.
caused complete chaos in
Yeah.
that sort of fourth place down battle, because Panda's now sort of got himself away a little bit from Winai, but not much. Winai obviously saving a little bit of battery potentially behind Panda and making sure he can actually go for them. He can think about where he strategically wants to make the move stick.
Good point, that Sam. Good point. But look, 4.5 seconds of gap now between Mackett and Angelo.
Yeah, Angelo not seeming to have the pace of Maka here. Angelo still got a 2-second gap though. This massive train, as here comes Winai once again trying to see if he can make a move, as here we go down the inside. It's going to be 3 wide briefly for a second. Panda loses 2 positions in one go. Winai up the inside. Vapid is going to make the move stick as well, however he's still side by side with the Dutchman and does make it stick. However, Scott's about to make it stick as well, and it's going to be 3 positions lost as Scott goes down the inside of Vapid. Vapid has to run wide as there's not much space. There's Panda with a little bit of contact there as well. Does manage to keep hold of his front wing and no damage and carry on as normal.
Yeah, I'd like to go back and have a look at that move from Winai as well. I thought he showed great maturity with that move he made. Very impressive move from Winai. But Panda Park from being P3, he's on P6 now. Oh,
that was a bit of a mistake there from Vapid as we went into the blind left-hander. That's probably not going to have helped him out, but it does. Panda has been dropped back down into the middle of this battle once again, and Winai is now back onto the podium. I think that was TJH potentially. The back of the field who's now still having issues on those tyres. As here is, let's see if Scott can potentially line up. Oh, as it looks like Panda was thinking about a move on Vapid, was not able to make it stick, as we're going to go on board with Scott and see as we go side by side and past for the move for 3rd place, but he does have that penalty to contend with. Winai still holding on to this at the moment. Now Winai has absolutely no battery himself, and what Vapid is now trying to get himself past with Panda still breathing down his neck in P6.
Yeah, Scott's done well to get up to P3 now.
Adam Halford on Wallace there. Oh my word. Little bit of contact there between the 2 drivers. And is he missing a little bit of front wing? No, he's not. I thought he was for a second.
Yeah, I think Wallace has got underfloor damage. He's not.
Oh my word! Round the outside for Vapid, turns to the inside for the blind left-hander, turn number 7 I believe it is. He's going to have the inside line. Panda takes advantage, and Winai's potentially going to lose 2 positions here. As is Panda going to be able to make the move stick as we go down towards the next corner, as Winai's going to have to yield the move here. Nope, he's round the outside. The Dutchman have made a little bit of contact round the outside, and then Panda does keep hold of the position, and that allows Vapid a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah, well, it does. So, yeah, Scott, I think Scott has done well to get up to P3, but will these tyres last another 5 laps?
It'll be interesting to see as Scott's tyres are going to start to go off pretty soon. As here we go, Panda down the inside, the DRS wide open on Panda's car down the inside, and it is easy move into 4th place for Vapid. Vapid, however, coming back at the Dutchman. The Scott versus the Dutchman here as we head down round the outside. The Panda sends Vapid, and I think he's going to do the full clean sweep around the outside if he can make it stick, although Panda does just make it.
Yeah, he did well there, Panda. I expected Vapid to make the move, but yeah, well done, Panda. 7 seconds, 7.5 seconds is not a gap between Mark and Angelo.
Yeah, that gap is just getting bigger and bigger as well. So your running order is,
from
as I say, yeah,
yeah, go on.
it's your running order so far. While we look at the battle for P4, Maka still leads, as we say, 7.8 seconds now the gap. Scott, maybe the best of those tyres, is gone because he's now starting to drop off from Angelo, 1.2 seconds and dropping. Panda 2.2 as it looks like Adam Halford and Winai may potentially have. Nope, I think it's just a good move there from Adam Halford down the inside. Whoa, senior, big dive bomb from him. Senior, junior, I've done this again.
I wish I could drive half as good. You carry on.
Winai on absolutely no battery, to say the least there. I literally looked at his battery and there's almost nothing on that bar whatsoever.
Scott Siwan, he's got that 35%.
And Adam Halford again when I back past.
Yeah.
Oh, what else? Trying to get round the outside. They may almost went side by side there. Adam Halford comes out on top in the end. Oh, Vapid, that's a very close to the back of Panda there.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Almost pretty much had the nose, the front nose of his car almost directly in the rear diffuser of Panda's car.
Front nose? Has he got a back nose?
No, front nose. Front wing. Sorry, words.
Oh dear. We've not taken Mickey out of Andrew. We have
No.
not taken Mickey out of Andrew.
Not at all.
I swore blind we would.
Yes, we haven't. We've only mentioned fringes once. Anyway, carry on.
I'm not going to give him satisfaction. We've got a race on it. Yeah, we've got a better thing to think about than Andrew. I'd rather go with commentator. That's fine.
Meanwhile, Scott looking to make the move, and he's got the move done. Angelo obviously seeing those tyres may well die off soon on that car. Does not really have to worry about it, I don't think. When I am vapid, when eyes wide.
Yeah.
So I think he's just missed it, and he's going to be under pressure from Adam Halford again. Going defensive is the Dutchman. Can Adam Halford go down the inside? No, he's not able to do so. Does not decide to send the car down the gap there, as Adam Halford, I believe, is much better on battery than what Winai is. Very similar colour schemes, I have just noticed as well.
Yes, yeah, they are, aren't they? Yeah.
We still have Wallace Jr. in the back of this queue. He's still hanging on in there, even if he does have damage.
So Angelo is not give up the chase on Scott. Keep him within DRS distance. Is he close enough?
Right. As Angelo will have the DRS this lap, but he's 7/10 behind. So I wonder if Scott's burned a lot of the battery to do it, potentially. I was going to have a look at the battery differences, so there's almost nothing in the battery differences.
They're the same, aren't they? No, they're the same.
While this is going on, by the way, this is just helping Maka just pull away.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's 9.2 the gap now. Lost down the
serious.
inside of him, Adam Halford once again.
Make it stick. No, Adam's got the inside line here.
Bit of a slide there from Wallace Jr. Does not help him out. Go back
to Angelo and Scott.
Yep, the gap is about a second. It looks like Scott's got the gap over 1 second. Even with the fact that his tires are older than the likes of the car ahead of him, and well, they're the same age, but obviously a steps off. We have, I think that is Wallace Jr. TJH, as TJH is, there's a 5-second penalty there. I don't know what has happened there. There won't be a safety car this late in the race, let's be honest.
No.
Because usually once you go past 25, 26, yep. So he will still get P9 out of this race, so at least that's something you can actually aim for in the overall point standings.
Anyway.
Yes, as we still have, and he's clawing his way just about it within the second, then losing it and then clawing himself back in again. Vapid, meanwhile, is still within about 7/10 of Panda.
Yeah. Just looking at Scott, with his penalty, he's going to be P3 if Angelo can keep this close.
And didn't feel the need to defend the inside there. However, I believe Vapid is only marginally, but he is marginally better now at ERS than what Panda is.
Yeah. And now Angelo is over at DRS range as well. He's out of DRS range of Scott, so.
Yeah. I'm quite surprised considering Scott's managed to keep those tires alive. I'm amazed on that one.
Wallace is in pits, getting his 98th wing and serving his penalty.
PJH, as I say, he's still on those hards. 20 laps. I'm quite surprised he stayed out that long on those tires.
Yeah. I'm sure it is. Wouldn't have been in P8 if he'd put different set of tyres on.
If he put mediums on, he could have potentially been himself in the top 5.
Definitely.
And I've noticed, by the way, for the most part, as Adam Halford is battling. Once again, round the outside there. That's impressive. I just caught the end of that. That's an impressive move there from Adam Halford.
It is on the outside. Not very often you make it stick there, but you got the grip coming out of it as well as one eye's looking. But no,
nice looking, but you really don't want to be overtaking there because then you just give the car behind the car that you're overtaking DRS. And here we go. When I once again draining what little battery he has to get past Adam Halford, and once again, as we're on to the final lap, the second half. Once we got past all the safety cars in this race is actually flown by.
It has, hasn't it? It really has. I think it's something to do with the company.
Indeed. I've been doing a lot of solo commentaries, I know. Yeah, Maka is gonna... Vapid up the inside. Neither of them have any battery. As Vapid is trying to go round the outside, Panda squeezing him towards the apex a little bit there. And he does keep hold of the position. Wallace Jr. If there was another lap, he probably would have been lapped. All things happen, but everyone will finish on the lead lap, obviously because of all the safety cars.
Yeah, and
but
here comes Maka.
We are going to go on board with Maka, even with all the safety cars that were thrown his way. And someone that I have never seen race before. It's an ominous sign for Maka to put his sign down on Papa Champs, coming towards the line to win here in Bahrain.
Well, he's going to go in the pits then. Scott going to get out to the line second, but unfortunately,
yes, but Angelo will get that. He will finish third though.
Yeah.
Angelo will reclaim P2. Panda, after some trials and tribulations, will finish P5 with Vapid in P6 or P5 with one eye in P6. Adam Halford P7. TJH will finish in P8. And finally, it will be Wallace Jr. in P9.
Don't think he'll be too happy with that result.
I mean, he might have more than a few things he might not be happy about.
I'll just message him now and see what his thoughts are. Yeah, he's had a good race. I enjoyed that. Yeah, and like you say,
it was it's been well, apart from the safety cars and some questionable decision making at points, I feel like it was I feel like that's the one that you say if you want to be non-biased. I say.
The questionable is a nice choice of words there. So.
Yep. Yeah, and I've just got the achievement for spectating an online race.
Very good. Sit. Matt getting these points.
Yes, anyway, that's not the important thing. As I'm still waiting for the podium to load, it just isn't. There we go. I just loaded like midway through. Maka, very comfortable race in the end from him. Obviously, when I helping him out in the end, TJH as well, I believe, helping him out on that front with Angelo in P2 and Scott in P3. Scott maybe a little bit disappointed with that penalty come the end, but who knows with post-race decisions, who knows with penalty removals. We'll have to see if these results stay the way they are. So, your rundown of the finishing order. It is Maka who wins by 12.1 seconds over Angelo, who had the battle near the end of the race, with Scott who takes the final spot on the podium. Panda will finish P4 with Vapid in P5. When I in P6, he had some interesting moments in that race, alongside some other moments. Adam Halford in P7. 8th for TJH, and finally 9th, and the final finisher is Wallace Jr. with Dashtappen, the Cynical Games, Rosseco and Jay Evans not making it to the flag. I'd like to ask Mike, who your driver of the day is.
I was quite impressed with Maka. I know he got pole and dominate the race, but I think he was quite. I was quite impressed with him.
Indeed.
I'm going to quote.
Yes.
I'm going to quote a message I've just had. I'm not saying who it's off. Some fucking bellends out there, I tell you.
Yes.
Got to agree with that. Got to agree.
I need to go and get. Okay, love the fact that all the people who were on the podium have all immediately left the lobby apart from Maka. Great. Let's get him in. I'm gonna have to get Scott and Angelo as well. Where is Angelo? There he is. And we'll get Scott as well. I believe Scott is way down the bottom of my list somewhere. No, he's not. He must be pretty online. No, there he is. Just so you know, good joining. Good evening. Make sure to everyone to include your audios in the stream so everyone can hear your wonderful tones.
Tones.
Yes. Right. And if obviously I can't do the cars because
we got first.
Real cars. We'll start with, I believe we'll start with Scott with 3rd place. So Scott, an interesting race from your point of view. Talk us through exactly what happened.
Well, for starters, I got a 3-second penalty for simply avoiding an accident. I will be sending that to both of you just to confirm, and then you can let me know that I can remove that 3 seconds and get my rightful 2nd place, because there's no.
There's a few incidents like that. If we've called someone.
Yeah, well, honestly,
noticed on the stream, there's quite a few, and they served their penalties as well for.
Honestly, yeah.
There was some questionable driving, as you'll see when you stream.
I did have to disqualify a driver mid-race. I think that was a fairly calm decision from all of us racing. That was probably the right thing to do, considering he did sort of assassinate the leader of the race. But from my point of view, I was about everywhere you could have been today. But I think got the result that I deserved. Probably wasn't fast enough for the win. It's just you couldn't catch Maka today. So, I mean, obviously, good thing he signed up in time.
Yeah.
Just making the debut and getting the win, so that's really good for him. In terms of that, if I get my 2nd place, if I get my rightful 2nd place, I'm technically the championship leader, so I'm happy with that. But yeah, sure, we'll see how it goes. Yeah. Good race. I'll have a lengthy discussion with the drivers afterwards, just sort everything out and make sure it's all good for next week as well.
Right. So Scott, one last thing before we move on to Angelo. You had a lot of battles that race. What if you had to pick a favourite from that one? What would it be?
I don't actually know, to be fair. Going around the outside of there was too many. I can't pick. Oh my god, there was sound like a little gun. But yeah, it was when I just started passing everyone, and then next thing I know, I'm like 1 second clear, 2 seconds, 3 seconds clear. Honestly, all the stress and driving's just gone now, because if you slightly misjudge the throttle, you won't just be sent directly into a wall.
You won't be
So
sent to
that makes it
Narnia.
better. Yeah. That's all good, thank you.
Yeah.
For good
So,
race.
as I say, Scott, we will obviously see you when penalties come back and see if you get your second place returned. But for the moment, it is third place for Scott in the Aramco car.
Yeah, well done,
colours
mate.
anyway.
Viva Aramco.
And now on to second place, Angelo. Obviously, the first. I do know you have a fair bit of pace from the times that I have actually seen you racing. But as I say, talk us through your race, and did it go exactly as you would expect it?
Yeah, actually, I think I had a pretty good start to it. I think I made up 3 places, and I was keeping up with the guys ahead. Then the safety car came out, tried to brake as much as possible. I was on the brakes, but I hit Scott in the double left, and that gave me floor damage. And I had to pit in and get my wing replaced. After that, I was just trying not to be involved in accidents, which I think I didn't manage to avoid in the second or third restart it was, where there was calamities into turn 1. I'm not sure what happened there, but all I saw was 2 people squeezed me in the middle, and I had a red floor for the remainder of the race. So after that, it was just...
I could remember that. It was questionable driving, wasn't it, Sam?
Yeah, there was some
yeah.
interesting moments in that race, let's just say that much. We'll
Yeah.
leave it at that just now. We'll leave stewards to decide on that one. That's not for us to
Yeah.
decide.
Yeah, you went well,
and
Angelo. You showed pace last week. Unfortunately, you didn't have the best of luck, but your pace was there, quite constant.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you. I tried to do my best with what I had. I tried to stay close to Maka after the final restart, and I overtook the guy in second immediately. But I just
that
couldn't
would have been
keep up.
TJH, yes. You would have got past him. He was on the hard tyres.
I couldn't keep up with him. I lost so much time on the straights. I couldn't defend. I couldn't catch up. And at the end, after I got passed by Scott, I knew he would have tried to get the penalty removed. So I tried to re-overtake him as I was pushing as hard as possible, but wasn't enough. I had no ERS. I had nothing. My hands hurt still from trying to catch up to him. But it was a fun race. For me, I personally had quite a few battles, quite a few overtakes around the outside here and there, switchbacks at some point, many battles, quite a lot of fun, even though the damage, I think I could have had a bit better pace. But yeah, it is what it is. I did the best I could, and yeah, pretty happy with my performance today.
Right, well done, Angelo, in second place. So obviously only provisional at the moment, and we'll have to see obviously with tickets and all that, how that all plays out. But congratulations, and went on second place.
Yeah, well done.
Thanks, thank you.
And finally, we come to the man of the hour, RRT Maka, the man who took pole position on the final corner in the one-shot qualifying by 0.079 of a second from Scott, who was also in the front row alongside you, and we both had you as the winners of the race. And well, you managed to deliver today. As I say, talk us through everything, or sometimes lack of anything that really happened in your race.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for having me in. It's been a great first race. You all seem a very good bunch of lads. It's been a pleasure to race with. But yeah, it's quite a fun one to be honest. All the safety cars and all the strategy changes. Not sure where to start to be honest. The start was pretty good. I'm better leading rather than chasing. So as long as no one's in front of me, I can kind of do my own race. It gets a bit tricky when I'm in traffic. So just wanted to pull away.
We noticed that. 1 minute you looked at the gap and it was 2.5 seconds, and we looked at the gap again and it was 7. So yeah, you got some good pace there, Parker.
Yeah, certainly wanted to pull away. Didn't want to be near anyone. I'm better out by myself.
Yeah, dominated out. Yeah, quite impressed, mate. Quite impressed with you.
Thank you.
So, is this the first of many potential wins we will see from you this season?
Certainly hope so. I mean, I'm not going to fall off the cliff just like in one race. I'm going to try and keep it up and try and keep the streak going.
Congratulations on the win, and you also got driver of the day from both me and Mike.
Oh, thank you very much.
And you
for
win.
your performance today.
You win. Get driver of the day. You win absolutely nothing.
Oh, that's cruel.
If you can reach you back, give yourself a couple of pats from me and Sam. You deserve it.
Anyways, congratulations anyway on the race victory for yourself, Maka. And that is going to close out round number 2 here in Bahrain. It will be your usual commentators back in the box next week. It will be Mike as usual, but it will be Andrew returning to the box as well.
I'll miss you, Sam. I'll miss you. I've enjoyed my time with you tonight. It's been more of a mature.
Bestow a little bit of my
Big thanks for taking up the role today. By the way, thank you for
a good job.
Yeah, you managed to figure out all the technical difficulties beforehand because Twitch is awkward. Anyway, I'm waffling. Let's get this intro. Let's get this outro finished. So this has been round number 2 from the Bahrain Grand Prix. We will see you again in round. What round do we have next, Scott? Because obviously,
I think he's not here.
Yeah. Does anyone know what round we have next?
Possibly back. I'm not sure. I can't tell you.
No, it's
Azerbaijan.
Yeah, it's
okay,
back. Yeah,
so
it's back. Yeah.
So
we will be doing that pit.
So
lane will be closed.
The grid will resume next week in Azerbaijan. Totally professional streamer, not having to ask because Anyway, waffling. We will see you next week out at the Baku City Circuit. So, with that said, we will see you next week, and goodbye.
Bye-bye. Thanks, Sam. Goodbye, everybody. Good night. God bless.